There is a bank that sits above your central bank. It has no branches, it has no customers, you will never hold an account there. And once every 2 months, 18 people fly into a small Swiss city, walk into a room, and with no cameras, no journalist, close the door, and no minutes are ever taken. This is the story of the most powerful financial institution most people have never heard of, the bank that sits above the Fed. Starting with a simple comparison, your Federal Reserve answers to Congress. Its meetings are recorded, its officials hauled in to testify. Now look at the Bank for International Settlements. It serves no public, only other central banks. It keeps no minutes, it pays effectively no tax, and legally it is something almost nothing else on earth can claim: sovereign, untouchable. A bank that operates above the reach of any single government. It was born in 1930. Out of the wreckage of the First World War, Germany was buried under the reparations of the territory of Versailles, and the world's most central banks needed a machine to collect that money and move it across borders. So they built one in Basel, chosen for Swiss neutrality, and it rails lines to London, Paris, Berlin. On the 17th May 1930, the Bank for International Settlements opened its door, the oldest international financial institution in the world. The man who built it were the man who already ran the world's money: Montague, Norman of the Bank of England, Hagelmer's sketch of Germany's richest bank, and Gates McGrath on the New York Fed. Its very first president, the same circle that had treated global finance through the 1920s, now had something they had never had before: a headquarters of their own, a private clubhouse for the people who controlled the money. Here is the twist. The entire reason the bank existed, German reparations, collapsed almost immediately. By 1932, the payments were gone, the machine had lost its purpose within 2 years of switching on, and any normal institution would have been wound down. It reinvented itself into a permanent private club for the central bankers. No expiry date, no one to answer to. Then came to the darkest chapter. Between 1939 and the 1945, the gold flowed across the bank's book that did not belong to the people moving it. At least 3.7 tons of it, looted from the central banks of Belgium and the Netherlands, melted down to hide where it came from. And in March 1939, days after the Hitler's troops marched into the Paraguay, the BIS helped move the gold reserve, after 23 tons, into a Nazi-controlled account, approved from London, without the British Treasury's knowledge. By the height of the war, the arithmetic inside the bank had tilted. At its peak, the Axis powers controlled roughly 67% of its voting stock. An American ran the bank from neutral vessels, while a senior German officer inside it signed his correspondence: Heil Hitler. Germany's own bankers called the BIS their only real foreign branch. When it was over, 5 of the bank's directors would face war crimes charges. The 67.4% dial is the anchor. The world's notice in 1944 at Bretton Woods, the conference that designed the entire post-war financial order, the delegates passes resolutions to abolish the Bank for International Settlements at the earliest possible moment. It was judged too intended, too compromised to survive, and yet the central bankers lobbied quietly to save it. The resolution was slaved. The bank lived. It always does. Time the red slaved, slam to the slam down to the world slaved, and then it made itself untouchable. In 1987, the BIS signed a headquarters agreement with Switzerland. Under Article 3, its premises are inviolable. No Swiss officials, no police force may enter without the bank's permission. Under Article 7, it pays no direct tax. Its assets cannot be seized, frozen, or expropriated, in peace or in war. A sovereign state hidden inside a Swiss city. Tested and unbroken. It is that immunity real or just words on paper? In 2012, we found out when a hedge fund tried to seize Argentina's reserve parked at the BIS, Switzerland's highest court refused to touch them. No government, no court, no creditor, nothing on earth can reach inside the tower. The BIS sets the rule. So, what does it actually do with all that power? It writes the rule through the Basel Committee. This one bank sets the capital requirement for every major bank on the planet. Basel 1, Basel 2, Basel 3. 63 central banks sit inside it, representing about 95% of the world's economy. When Basel speaks, the world's banks reshape their balance sheets to obey. The inner circle. And once every other month, the most powerful central bankers on the earth return to that room in Basel. They dine together, they talk, and no minutes are kept. As one former Federal Reserve chairman put it, the central bankers were more at home with each other than with their own governments. This is not a conspiracy theory, it's a standing meeting. Which brings us to right now. On June 28, 2026, the BIS issued a warning in its annual report. It said that $1 trillion boom in AI spending is being propelled by a circular deals between chipmakers, the hyperscalers, and the AI labs, each one quietly financing the others. And it warns about this could become, and in its own word, a protracted investment bust. When the bank that sits above every other bank tells you the party might be ending, it's worth asking who they told first. We built the Federal Reserve in secret, and then we built something above it, told almost no one. The next time you wonder who really controls the money, remember the tower in Basel and the 18 people who meet there in the dark. If you want to the next investigation, subscribe. This is only the first floor. Thank you.